Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I wanted to talk about factions in Black Ops Cold War. This has been something of a hot button topic with the community because if you didn't notice, in Black Ops Cold War there are no factions for either side, meaning you can play Russian or American operators as you see fit, and it's something that the community complained about a lot and they wanted factions back. This is a complaint that I initially dismissed because there's quite a few community complaints that I just don't let take up any space in my mind, along with the prestige system, which I don't care about, what camos are or aren't in the game, clan wars. I still have people sending me death threats like 5 or 6 years later over clan wars. Is X gun in the game? Can you do YY ladder canceling? A lot of things that don't really apply to me, so don't focus on them too much. So, like the overconfident man that I was, I initially ignored complaints about operators not being locked to factions. I assumed that Treyarch was moving toward a different system with a more microtransaction friendly focus, so that if you buy an operator, you can always play as that operator, right? That's one of the problems that you do have currently in Modern Warfare, is if you spend money to get the Leatherface or Billy operator, you can't really choose which one you're playing in every game of multiplayer. You either get one or the other based on the faction, so you're kind of getting half your dollar value, right? And as a difference, I also don't have any kind of emotional attachment to the factions or to the announcers. I know a lot of fans do, a lot of especially casual gamers. It helps pull them into the fantasy of what they're doing and play along with it, but I've played games for so long, I just kind of tune things out. But this is one that I think I was completely wrong about. I think that Treyarch should just bring factions locking or faction operator locking back into the game just the way it was, even if it means you can't always play as the operator you want or that you played for, and I'm going to explain why. There are two main reasons, both relating to visibility. Number one is that there's something really weird about the enemy reveal distance and the red names. Visibility isn't great in this game, and it's especially not great for a Treyarch game. Even playing 1440p on PC, I still struggle to see people. Many of you probably saw Exclusive Ace's video where he had "Where's Waldo" in the thumbnail and had people try and spot the enemies that were in the screenshot, and I think that was a brilliant idea and really highlighted how difficult this can be. And a lot of you have complained about it on Reddit, of course. But the point is that red names don't always show up when you're looking at enemies sometimes. I don't know if it's a distance reveal problem, for which there are attachments to improve, if it's an angle problem, if the cone of reveal is too small, if there's some sort of new line of sight system, or exactly what's going on here, but the red names just don't quite pop up like they used to. And when they do, they're not always aligned in the right space. So you have names over the player's head and health bars, and they left align. Instead of center align, they're pretty hard left align. So if you have somebody with a really short name, or a name that has a whole lot of spaces, their name will show up a couple of feet to the left of their head instead of on top of them, which isn't normally an issue, but in a game with poor visibility and smoke grenades and sometimes chaotic stuff or enemies being far away going on, I can't actually see the players that I'm shooting at very well, so I make the logical decision to shoot just below the nameplate because the nameplate's center aligned in every other Call of Duty game. And since this one is left aligned, that means I'm actually shooting to the left of the player and missing every single shot. I think a lot of you have kind of gone through this. The same system and problem applies to teammates as well. The teammates' blue name tags don't always appear when I'm looking at them. In general, they're less visible and disappear more quickly, and if I look at them less directly, and this is probably a purposeful decision on Treyarch's end to cut back on visual clutter in the game. They don't want a whole bunch of teammate name tags everywhere and a whole bunch of enemy name tags everywhere and a whole bunch of junk on your screen. It gets really, really distracting, so it kind of makes sense to make your teammates' information not pop up quite as much. The issue with this is that means my teammates often look a lot like enemies. They're moving around in and out of hot zones, in and out of combat, and they won't have a friendly blue nameplate. Now, I do realize I can look at the radar to check to see who's friendly and who's not, but in the middle of a hectic, fast-paced, die at 100 milliseconds gunfight, I'm going to shoot the first thing I see moving that doesn't have blue on it, even if it's a friendly, and I'll end up wasting my precious ammo and revealing my position and end up getting, be reloading or revealed and get pushed and naded, and it's kind of frustrating. In the beta, I've hosed my teammates quite a few times and wasted all of my precious resources, which brings me back to the issue with the factions. Having the factions is a great way to tell friend from foe when the other information isn't available, and playing the Black Ops Cold War beta and alpha made me realize how much I actually appreciated the faction system from other games, so I was overconfident, dismissive, and ultimately wrong about this issue. I don't often really think about factions a whole lot in Call of Duty games, their lore, their importance, the announcer, or whatever, and I don't even really consciously think about what team I'm on or what I have going on, but I'm pretty sure that after years of playing, my brain at this point just subconsciously sorts them out. I kind of just hear the announcer on my team, and I automatically know what kind of enemies to look for regardless of what side I'm on. So in a different Call of Duty game where you have different perks where nameplates are hidden, or there's other visibility issues like Dark Corner McDougal's in Modern Warfare 2019, I could more easily identify friend from foe based on their skin or operator. I would say, oh, that's a Spetsnaz operator, that's a coalition operator, that's a something something, and I would know roughly what team they're on, even if I truly wasn't thinking about it. It was a feature that was so simple and subliminal, or sublime perhaps might be an appropriate word, that I didn't even realize I was using it. So for Black Ops Cold War, the nameplate system, overall player visibility, and the left-aligned tags all make it very difficult to sort friend from foe, especially when enemies and friendlies can all run the same skins. They could actually be running the exact same skin that I am, so when I see a person, if their information doesn't pop up, I don't know if they're a teammate, I don't know if they're an enemy, and I have no idea what faction they're on. But if the faction system came back and we sorted out the Russian and the American operators, I would pretty quickly learn which side I'm on, and if I ran into a gunfight and a person popped up and they maybe didn't have a red name tag or a blue name tag and they were moving in an unusual manner, but I looked at them and I said, hold up now, that is a Russian Spetsnaz operator, I am on the American team, that cannot be a friendly, that's the one I should hose, and that makes the gameplay better, it leaves me guessing less, it makes things more straightforward, and it's a way to improve the overall visibility and target acquisition systems in the game without doing a whole ton of coding work. So in my opinion, I believe that the faction system should return, and I think it would help save me and a lot of other players a lot of trouble. So yeah, I kind of want it back. That's all for this video. It's a pretty short one for this channel. I'd love to shamelessly boost it up to 8 minutes to get more ads, but there's no need for that. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you learned something useful, and I hope I see this faction system back in Black Ops Cold War. Drifter out.